You work at a law enforcement agency, police department, sheriff, maybe even a court, and you have microfilm. This is going to be a quick how-to guide to get your microfilm digitized, which is scanned, converted to a digital format. First, you want to think about your current situation versus your goal. So your current situation, you have microfilm, you have case files, cold case files, recent files, court dockets, whatever it is on microfilm, and you're using a reader printer, maybe multiple reader printers. You need to get files, you have to go on there, hook it up, scroll around, find it, print it out or export it, then do the next step with those files. It's very cumbersome, it's not very efficient, and if you're doing deep research into a case, you might have to use multiple rolls. The case may be spread over 1, 2, 3, 10 different rolls. That's a lot of effort with microfilm and a lot of time spent using analog records. Additionally, you have storage rooms. Let's say you're a larger sheriff's department and you have thousands of rolls, or you're a police department with a couple hundred of them, but they're spread over multiple cabinets or different rooms. You have multiple reader printers that require maintenance. They require knowledge of even how to use the reader printer. Overall, using the microfilm is just a very time-consuming and not very productive way to utilize the record. So you want to digitize, and that's where you want to go. You want to have digital files where it's easy to find records, easy to find the information you need so you can actually do the casework that you're trying to do rather than the admin work of just using the microfilm. So to reframe it again, you have the current situation, you're using the film, but your utopia, what you want to get to is your boss comes in and says, I need you working on this case, or you're already working on a case, but you need to find some data. You go into your digital system, you start searching for a record, you find it quickly, you see there's related information in multiple different files, you pull the data down, you start doing your actual job, which is doing the investigatory work or doing the research work, not just looking around for the data. So you're not wasting time putzing around, pulling different rolls of microfilm, putting them on readers, scrolling through and finding, oop, this isn't the right one, let me go put it back. You're finding the data quickly, you're doing your job, and you're moving on to the next thing. So that is the goal. You're efficiently using your time, you're efficiently using the data in a digital format. So now actually digitizing the microfilm, how do you do it? I'm not gonna go into the do-it-yourself method, which is you get some sort of desktop scanner and you do one at a time or a couple at a time. It's very slow, you have to learn all yourself. I'm not talking about today. I'm talking about working with a company like BMI. That is the most effective, efficient, and productive way to do it. And it may not sound like it when you see the project cost, because like, oh geez, that's more than me just buying a cheaper machine and doing it myself. But the time value, your time, your team's time, that is much greater than the cost of actually doing it compared to doing all the labor yourself and maybe doing it kind of not so well either. You're not the expert to this. We don't expect other agencies to be experts at microfilm. Your expertise is in law enforcement. Let the experts do the project to get you what you need so you can go on your way and not have to use the microfilm anymore. Number one, security first. Law enforcement records, criminal records, case files, possibly employee records, possibly HR records and whatnot, but in the end, it's going to be sensitive data. Now, in law enforcement, you want to look for someone that is CJIS, CJIS. It's a CJIS listed vendor. They're compliant with the CJIS security policy. So because you're in law enforcement, you would very likely know that CJIS is a division of the FBI, and it's everything related to criminal justice information. So there's the FBI CJIS security policy that you should be following to make sure you can access the CJIS database, the national database. But if you're working with a vendor, a partner like BMI, you want to make sure that they know what CJIS is, they're complying with the security policy, and they're a CJIS listed vendor. BMI is that. But if you're looking around, just make sure that they are a CJIS listed vendor and they comply with the CJIS security policy. 2, microfilm expertise. I didn't say experience because experience is different than expertise. You could have a company that's been working with microfilm for 30 years, but do they have 30 years of expertise in microfilm, or they have 1 year of expertise but 30 years of experience? Just because someone's been doing something a long time doesn't mean they really are great at it. So you don't just want to think about how long you've been around, how many projects you've done, although those are important. You want to know if they really are experts with microfilm. The reason is microfilm can be very wonky. It's a very weird type of material. There are various types. There's 16 millimeter, 35 millimeter. You could have simplex or duplex, 100 foot, 215 foot, something called duo or serpentine film, where it wraps around. It's not even the same images next to each other. It actually goes top. It's a duplex roll that goes like this, and then when it gets to the end of the roll, it loops back around that way. Very weird. You could have microfilm that is deteriorating. Does the company know how to deal with that? They find deteriorating microfilm. Do they even know what to look for? All the different nuances of scanning, calibrations, image quality, density. Microfilm is just a very odd material, along with microfiche, Apture cards, it's all part of the microform family. You want a company that is an expert, where their people are experts in microfilm. Not just they've done it before, but they actually are experts in the nuances of this material type. Another aspect of microfilm is the indexing. So the simplest is roll level indexing. If you have 2,000 rolls of case files, then you just index at the roll level. Basically the box that the microfilm roll comes in, or the cartridge, you just name it by that because that's how you find it now. That's replicating. It's a building block approach. It's a great way to go about it. But if you're putting these into a document management system, or you don't want to have to keep searching, you want to go straight to a case file, we can do case file indexing or some sort of file indexing, whatever is on the rolls. That's just another step in the project that can be simple if there are flasher sheets, very easily identifiable pages, but it can be very difficult. You want someone that has done this hundreds of times, thousands of times, that knows the intricacies of microfilm and how indexing can be much more difficult than you think. Just because you want it done some certain way doesn't mean that's the best way to go about it. So you want experts to help you and collaborate and build that scope of work so you get what you really want, which is simplicity in the use of records. Now, tied into that, the types of film, the indexing, the complexities, you only want to do this once. When you scan your microfilm, you don't want to do it and then a couple years later find out didn't turn out as well as we want. We're gonna have to do this again. You don't want to spend the money twice. You want to do it once, so you need to do it right. Make sure you make that choice based on the expertise of someone knowing how to do the project and that security aspect, and do this once so you can just move on and not have to deal with the microfilm again. So with that in mind, like I said, high level how to. You have security, finding someone with microfilm expertise, but how do you actually get it done once you've chosen that part and you know where you want to go? The path to getting it done is you've done that research, that's done. You've chosen BMI, or you're at least interested in BMI. We'll do a sample for you. We love samples. It helps us understand your material more. It helps us show you what your results will look like once we've actually scanned and processed that material. And then it helps us get a more detailed collaborative effort to build a scope of work for you based on your requirements, your wants and needs. Once that sample is done, if we move forward, we have contracting, all that's in place, we get the microfilm and we're gonna build the milestone 1 proof of concept, which is called the M1. That's where we're actually gonna take the scope of work, we're gonna build your unique process flow. Every project we work on gets its own unique process flow and a dedicated project manager. We're gonna build that milestone, we're gonna run some film through the process flow. So let's say you have 2,000 rolls of film and it's all the same doc type. They're all just case files. We'll scan maybe 4 or 5 rolls through the actual process flow we built for you, and then we're gonna stop. We're gonna talk to you and say, we need to review this. We are not moving forward until we get your approval. We do this because we don't wanna get to the end of the project where we deliver the final result and you say, I didn't realize that was what I was getting. I'm not very happy, or you know, it looks good, but it just wasn't exactly what I was thinking this was gonna be. So instead of avoiding that and maybe having to do rework or get back into how to rescope the project, we do this M1 proof of concept where we run through the process flow, we stop, we say the M1 is ready. We're gonna look at it together. We're gonna show you the image quality, how the indexing's done, making sure it matches the scope of work and what we agreed to. And you maybe want a tweak or two here or there, or maybe we found something in your microfilm that is out of scope you didn't even know about, and we can talk about that and figure out how to approach it. But once we all agree on this looks good, assuming the rest of the project is like this, we can go forward and you give us the thumbs up, you say this is approved, then we move forward the rest of the project. And if everything's the same, like the material we already went over, then it just continues on until it's done. If something pops up in the project that is different than what we saw in the M1 or what was expected, we'll of course bring that up to you and we'll deal with that as it appears. But if everything else is same, the project moves on, we have the M1 approved and we can move forward. And that's really the last piece of it, is the project. It's scanning the remaining couple thousand rolls, getting the project delivered. That might be through encrypted USB, it might be an SFTP, the electronic transfer. Maybe you're loading into our digital reel hosted platform where we do have a CJIS compliant hosted environment. So you have multiple options for delivery, but that's the project. We do that, and then we can get your microfilm back to you, or we can destroy it if that's part of what you want done. You don't want to deal with the microfilm anymore. You've reviewed the images, you like everything, you want the film destroyed, and then we're all wrapped up. So that's what you want to think of. That's your how-to guide of how to look at microfilm and digitizing your records for law enforcement. The keys are security first, microfilm expertise, and then running the project and the process with that project. So now you know how to get a microfilm scanning project done. You can also check out this video, which is from microfilm to digital and protecting your records along the way. Just talks about different security aspects of what we do with the microfilm as we move through the project. Thank you for watching.